Hi, I'm William Wells. I recently attended a seminar in the Twin Cities area put on by a man named Michael Maher. Michael is a top real estate producer in the Kansas City area. He's also an author and wrote a book entitled The 7 Levels of Communication, Go From Relationships to Referrals. And after the seminar, Michael asked if I would be kind enough to provide him with a testimonial. I wanted to read the book first, and then after doing so I realized that a text type of a testimonial just wouldn't do it justice, so I've opted to do it in a video format. I learned 2 things from Michael at both the seminar and by reading his book. And the first thing that I learned was that although his audience is primarily made up of those in the real estate industry, agents and brokers and those with title companies and mortgage lenders, the information that he provides goes well beyond that audience and is really applicable to businesses and nonprofits across the board. With that said, for me personally, the second thing that I learned was that it was actually more of a confirmation for me. And I say that, as a social media coach and speaker, I've been involved with technology since the early 90s. Back in 1993, 94, I say I saw the wave and swam out to it. My very first client was a realtor team, a real estate team actually, outside Denver. They were a team for RE/MAX. RE/MAX.com wasn't online yet. There was no Realtor.com. We didn't have Amazon, eBay, Google. None of this stuff that we have today that we're so accustomed to. And that was the first website that I built. And I remember having a conversation with a friend of mine during those early days. And I saw this introduction of technology as a double-edged sword. I saw, on the one hand, it was going to change the face of business. It was going to change the way people interact with each other. It was going to create an environment where doing things became a whole lot more convenient than they were prior to that. On the flip side of that, I saw the capabilities of it hurting how people did business. It would create an environment where people forgot some of the basic fundamentals. They forgot the way they did business prior to technology. And that's one of the things Michael does a good job reminding everybody about. We've kind of forgotten how to interact with people. And as I work with people in where social media is concerned, one of the first things that I say is, this is not a replacement for the way to do business. This is not to, and that's what's happened with technology. There's, I see 3 types of people. I see those business people who, did business the old school way, and technology was introduced, and they never embraced it. They never even took a part of it in. They're happy doing business, without it. Then there's the opposite end of that. There's those who rely 100% on technology to do all their communication for them. Even automating so much of some of the things that they do. And then there's the third kind, and the third kind is the successful kind. The third kind is the business person who balances both, I'll say, the old school way of doing business with some of the new technology that is continuously being introduced. And again, that's one of the things that Michael stresses, going through the, reminding people that, phone calls matter, handwritten notes matter, actually going and visiting and seeing somebody face to face matters. That's how, you network. That's what you're supposed to be doing. People haven't changed. Our habits have changed in some regard, but in general, I say, people have, human nature is still there. The same human needs and wants and desires still exist. And that's why business was successful before the internet. I remember when people would say, "Oh, I have a website, and my business is going to explode." And no, you still have to go and work with people and talk with people and nurture people, and ask your friends, ask your neighbors if they know people that can use the services that you have. And he does a good job bringing us back down to earth, or bringing people back down to earth, and making people remember some of the important things. I use the analogy of the automobile as in parallel to business. The automobile, although it's changed drastically since the very first one was introduced, there's some basic things that still exist and always have. You still have tires, you still have a steering wheel, you still need a human to interact with that piece of equipment in order to make it function. And that's the way business is. It still needs that human interaction. It still needs people still need to network in that manner. And that's one of the things Michael does. Is he does a great job reminding us of what we've forgotten, and that's very important. There's a tendency to start to get sidetracked and start to rely on the technological things to try to help us speed things up and make things faster. And we all make those calls trying to get customer support, and you have to hit the buttons and do this and do that before you can even talk to a person, and how annoying is that to us? And again, it's because we want to talk to somebody, and so if that's what I got out of Michael's book and out of his seminar, and he's got so many great ideas to help with this human interaction. So the book is well worth it. If you get a chance to attend one of his GenGen seminars, I'd strongly recommend it. I'll have information on his book and these workshops and seminars on my website at williamhwells.com.